I mean, it was strange. I did notice a lot of teen pregnancies, but I knew that that was just something that happened. I mean, I know that the circumstances were not normal, but if two teenagers decided to have sex and they got pregnant, then that's their business. You know what I mean? That's always how I thought about the situation. And then, you never know how a teenager got pregnant. They could have gotten assaulted. They could be getting molested in their household. They could be in an abusive relationship. Like, you never know the dynamic. So I just prefer not to speak on situations like that or judge, because it was none of my business. And if it was my business, say it became my business, I prefer not to judge, because sometimes people make mistakes and it's not my place to judge. So I just felt strange about how she approached that conversation. It kind of seemed like she was kind of like looking down on people. It felt like she kind of had a superiority complex. And it made me look at her funny. You know what I mean? I did notice that it was a large number of teen pregnancy, to where it was starting to become like concerning. But she was judgmental in a very pessimistic way that made my intuition go off. Now, maybe that's just a conversation where people just be like, yeah, that is strange, and then move on. But something just rung a bell for me, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. So from then on out, I just kept my distance. 'Cause I couldn't, it was just one of those things where I just went with the flow. I hardly ever saw her. She had already moved out of the neighborhood. So if I saw her, I saw her. If I didn't, I didn't. And I didn't see her. And when I did see her, I didn't just run up to her and go say hi. I just kind of walked past her and kept it moving. It was like the friendship kind of just drifted apart from then. And I didn't try to reconnect it. That's just what that was. And I know after 9th grade year, she moved. I don't know where she moved to. I never asked, because she and I, after a certain point in time, were not close anymore. So when she moved, it was like I didn't really see it as my business to like find out where she moved or why. If she wasn't willing to tell me, what was going on with her and her mom, and then I felt like whatever was going on in her life was not my business, nor was it my concern. So I just stayed. I'm my business. And people knew that me and Kristelle were close, and they knew that we were friends. So they told me, like, she moved. And I was like, oh, okay. When did that happen? Like a few months ago? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get to say goodbye, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? She moved. It's good to know. I mean, I wasn't checking for her, but, I just assumed that she and I had different classes and that we just didn't see each other. So that was that. Right? So when Kristelle moved, you know what? I want to say Kristelle moved like, I think it might have been, yeah, it was 10th grade for sure, I think. Was it? Yeah, it was 10th grade. She was dating this dude named David. I found out that they were in an abusive relationship, because the same people that told me that she moved were the same people that told me that she was in an abusive relationship. And that, like I said, I didn't get involved. I didn't, get all up in her business. They were just telling me that, David was being abusive and he's being, aggressive and whatnot. So, I didn't know anything further than that, but I assumed that her moving had something to do with him. I think they even said that. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but when they told me she moved, I think they told me that she moved because David was abusive. And I know David, and he attacked me, so I know he's abusive. David, he's a rapist. I think his last name was Hernandez or something like that, but yeah, because he sexually assaulted me in high school. That's how I got pregnant when I was 16. I was 16 years old. in the 10th grade, and I ended up getting pregnant because he sexually assaulted me in the bathroom. I went to the teacher's bathroom to use it because the stalls were full and the girls were taking forever in the bathrooms, and I really had to go. So a teacher ended up letting me use the bathroom, and he kind of snuck in and broke in while I was in there, and he assaulted me, and it happened so fast that I couldn't do anything about it. You know, he was stronger than me, he overpowered me, he dominated me, and it just happened so fast that it was nothing I could have done about it, unfortunately. So I know that David was abusive. Um, yeah, so I think they told me that she moved because of him. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's what they said, but I don't know. I'm trying to connect the dots between whether I was assuming that or they told me that it had something to do with him. Like, she ended up having to move because he was so abusive. So I think that was why she moved. And I think they even said that, but don't quote me. And from then on, I didn't see Kristelle anymore. But during that process, that 9th and 10th grade process, I did, however, get introduced to Kristelle. Now, I don't know if they're the same person or not. I don't know if this is some kind of switcheroo or just some kind of mad coincidence. But around that time where me and Kristelle were not really talking to each other, that's when I met Kristelle. And Kristelle, I met her in 9th grade year because she and I had tennis together, but I found out that her and Ashley went to Teague, which is good for me because I had a little bit of space, or so I thought. Maybe they could have been doing a switcheroo. Who knows? I don't know. Playing mind games. I don't know. But I know that when I was in middle school, I knew a girl named Ashley and I knew a girl named Chris. You know, may not been the same after the second name, but it was definitely Chris was the beginning name. So 9th grade year was when I met Kristelle. Hold on, before I start, let me backtrack. So Christy, I knew her from 2nd grade all the way to 5th grade. She and I were close. And then that was in Madison, Wisconsin. And then after all that stuff happened, you know, 5th grade, my 5th grade year ended. And then I moved to Houston, Texas. And that's when I met Kristelle. Kristelle was one of the first people that I talked to because I was a new student. I was new to the neighborhood. Nobody knew me. And Kristelle rode the same bus as me. We sat in the same assigned seats on the bus. And we lived in the same area. And I didn't know where I was going. And she was the person that helped me. She was one of the people that helped me know where I lived because I didn't know where I was going because I was new to the neighborhood. So I had to find semi-friendly kids that were willing to help me find my apartment door number. She was one of the people that helped me or pointed me in the direction on where to go. So there's that. So Christy, 2nd through 5th. Kristelle, 6th through 9th grade, because that's when she and I stopped talking. And then Kristelle, 9th grade, all the way to now. So, hey, it could be the same person, different names, different, physical appearances, or it could be 3 different people. I don't know. I got the puzzle pieces. I'm showing y'all what they look like, and y'all determine if they fit. I'm trying to minimize on bridging the gaps or making assumptions or a definitive statement because I don't know. If I know more information, I'll be able to give more information. I just want y'all to know that I'm trying to give y'all as accurate details as I possibly can. Okay, so I've went in on Christy. So whatever memories that I have not shared is because I don't remember. I went in on Kristelle. So I talked about her. So now it's Kristelle's turn. Okay? So I already talked about how she was stubborn, how she and I, when we reached a disagreement, it ended up being an argument or a debate. It got to the point where when she quit tennis, that's when the connection kind of dimmed out. I just moved on. Excuse me. I moved on, and that was that. I mean, she and I hung around the same group of people, but, and you know, I was always that type of person. I like to move around. I did get stuck on one group of people because it was like the tennis girls or whatever, like tennis people, you know, but most of the people who I started off in tennis with didn't stick with tennis. They were taking tennis as a PE credit. So that group kind of split up a little bit. And then some you know, seniors ahead of me, they graduated and all that stuff. So it started to become different. But my area was like the tennis people. But I like to move around from time to time. And I don't know, when she left tennis, I guess, you know, things changed. And we started hanging around different groups of people, and she and I weren't as close as before. I didn't really think too much about it. I just assumed, hey, we don't see each other as much. We don't have tennis together no more. It is what it is. And her and Ashley used to hang around. Well, we hung around the same group of people. And then at a certain point in time, either I would leave or they would leave, and it was just we weren't around each other as much. And Kristelle kind of started to reach out more. It was like, hey, I don't see you as much, you know. It's like, oh yeah, tennis, the whole tennis thing. And she knows, because she knows how hectic it was being in tennis, staying after school almost every day for tennis. If we was on the team, he made the tennis coach made us stay after school pretty much almost every day. If we didn't have any tutorials that we had to go to, then it was mandatory practice. So tennis took up most of my time, and if she wasn't in tennis, then I didn't see her. You know what I mean? That was just what it was. So I don't know. I don't know if she was doing things to kind of stay around or not, but I can say from my standpoint, I didn't really put much effort to maintain the friendship. If she was there, she was there. She wasn't, she wasn't. Yeah. It was just kind of like we were around each other because of mutual friends. That's what it started to become, because when I started realizing how stubborn she was and how difficult it was to reason with her, I just started to become distant. I didn't feel like arguing. I didn't feel like being left disappointed with just, oh, well, it's either Kristelle's way or the highway. You know, I was getting tired of that. So I didn't really try to put in much effort to try to reach out to her. I mean, there would be moments, like, say if there was, like, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really reach out to her much. I think I reached out to her because I was trying to, I had some extra, like, graduation tickets or whatever, like, where you can invite people to your graduation. I had some extra tickets. I asked her if she needed any. I was trying to sell them. And then, or give them away, I guess. Just trying to see what I was going to do with that. I think I contacted her for that. I think I asked her if she was going to one of the tennis game or something like that, and a few other tennis related stuff, but I didn't really talk to her outside of school. I know that on, was it senior skip day? No, I don't remember. Um